This may be one of the best stories ever written by Mike Dano I've ever seen. I mean, he writes a lot of stories, but this one, absolutely fantastic. Smothered in politics and personal interest and all those types of gooey, nasty, muddy things. Cars attack on Ergen looks gross. Guys, we're talking about Boost Mobile here. I don't really need to go into too many details, but just as a recap in case you're new here to the channel, Boost Mobile is the new fourth provider, the new fourth network to replace Sprint after T-Mobile was given approval to merge/acquire Sprint. The FCC DOJ did all they could to force Charlie Ergen and Dish to build out a network, become the fourth carrier, and all those things. They put in a bunch of requirements, network build out, checkpoints and all these other things, and certain spectrum assets had to be deployed, a certain amount of, pops covered in the US and all those things. Dish is meeting those requirements, at least according to the requirements that were put forth by the FCC and then drive tests and all those kind of things. So, look, I'm very critical of Dish and Charlie Ergen, spectrum squatting and all those things. But I mean, they're building the network and they have and are supporting several millions of customers. There's pressure right now from FCC Chair Brendan Carr of an investigation into EchoStar, Boost Mobile Dish, on the network build and on the utilization of certain spectrum assets, what appears to be, I would say, being a push from Elon Musk and SpaceX. It's obviously a ploy, a strategy to try to get spectrum out of Dish and into the hands of SpaceX and Starlink. Guys, look, I don't take sides in billionaire squibbles squabbles. I mean, it's just unfruitful and unproductive, so I don't want to take it there. But when you just look at the rules and you look at the requirements, what the hell are you actually investigating? Like if I'm questioning Brendan Carr's motivations and intentions and goals and missions, what are we actually pushing for here? If they're deploying the network, if they're building the network, and they're supporting customers and they're meeting the requirements, what are you actually investigating? Are you investigating that they're not deploying the assets? Are you investigating whether they're not trying to grow their business as a fourth provider? I'm not really sure. But what Dano does in this article, which is, I love it, it's absolutely brilliant. He raises the concern as in, what is the FCC focusing on? This FCC is supposed to be better than the last one, which everyone was hypercritical of. Well, this one's not exactly off to a great start. Not really. Here we are squabbling over what Dish is doing with the network. Here we are trying to figure out what we're doing with CBRS and the 3500 frequency. What are we going to do? We're going to raise power. We're going to move it around. Where's the spectrum pipeline? We're in the same place with more questions than answers, just like we were on the last one. And my position was the last FCC was so bad it couldn't get any worse with a new one. But here I am questioning, are we actually getting anything better? And I think the answer to that, in my personal opinion, is no. We're not getting something better. What we're getting is, we're getting a selectively choosy FCC that's playing nice with certain companies and certain parts of the industry that seems to have political alignment with them. So, you are not going to get the SMT taking sides in political stories, but what you are going to get is an objective reflection on what the FCC is doing. Because to me, I don't think Charlie Ergen and Dish need to be kicked while they're down. Again, I'm not going to sit here and try to protect a billionaire. But I mean, you've approved and made life easy on T-Mobile on so many different levels. I mean, we could just talk US Cellular, we could just talk MetroNet and all these other things and Sprint. Let's just call a spade here, right? Verizon with Frontier, AT&T we're assuming with Lumen. Everything's fantastic for these companies to just have these ripe situations to acquire and merge. And you're picking fights with Boost, with Charlie Ergen and Dish over the 2 gigahertz. It's almost like Elon just put a battery inside of Brendan Carr's back and told him, do this. It's crazy. I don't like this. We don't need this. Nobody does. And I've been critical of Dish and Charlie Ergen and Spectrum squatting and all this. You guys know where I'm at. If you followed my channel, you know my position. I want more competition. I want Spectrum being utilized. It's for the people, all of those things. But let's be honest in our intentions here. Are we really doing what's in the best interest of the people with these behaviors from Brendan Carr? You got to be kidding me. We got to be better than this. I'm with Mike Dano on this. This is some bullshit. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are. Drop them in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Check out some more videos. We'll see you guys on the next one.